Hello, everyone. As a pianist, I dreamed in high school of coming to Oberlin Conservatory because of the junior year abroad in Salzburg, Austria. With my auditions, I was accepted at both Oberlin and Eastman and chose Oberlin, although I ended up not going to Salzburg. I first met Joe in the fall of 1961 as he was assigned my teacher and lessons were at the old conservatory building. The new con, this building, as it was called, and will always be in my memory as the new con, was built in 1963, and concerts began here in Warner in the fall of 1964. I played on one of the very first student recitals ever given here in Warner, now 60 years ago. On May 8, 1965, I gave my senior recital here in Warner. Joe and I parted company in June 1965. If you would have told us back then that we would end up our lives together, we would have laughed you off of campus. He was the only person in the world that knew I actually had eloped in December 1964 with my first husband. I met Joe and Flo, his wife, at my 25th reunion here in 1990. Again, just a student saying hello to a former teacher. In June 2004, I moved to the Tampa, Florida area and learned he lived there. We didn't meet again until December 8, 2004, 39 plus years later after my graduation, when he drove to Sarasota, Florida for a blind date and I went to visit a friend. Flo had passed a few years before. That night we came back to his house and played Mozart piano four-hand. That did it for me, but not for him. I went to cook for him and was an utter failure on December 11, and on December 19, he told me we would only ever be friends. On December 31, around lunchtime, and after telling me earlier in the week no for us to get together for New Year's Eve, he called me and decided to come up and spend New Year's Eve with me and my grandson Cameron. We got together after that, and in May 2005, we took a trip to New Mexico, Utah, and Arizona National Parks, and he proposed to me upon our return. We were married on August 21, 2005, renewed our vows on a cruise in 2015, and this past August it would have been our 19th anniversary. During our time together, we enjoyed many cruises and trips, seeing movies, eating out, going to concerts, giving piano four-hand concerts and Joe's solo concerts, teaching piano, walks in nature, and sharing time with friends and family. He enjoyed reading, especially mysteries and scientific endeavors, playing poker, cooking, and catching up with friends and colleagues by phone. He also built balsa wood airplanes and did a restoration of a pianoforte when he was here in Oberlin. Joe and I continued to give concerts through December 2019, when he was age 87. You can find him on YouTube under Joseph Schwartz Pianist, but you must put in the word pianist. He was also featured on the front page of our Tampa area newspaper. He gave much joy with his talent and many solo concerts, besides his teaching and mentoring people of all ages up until the pandemic in 2020. He avidly followed the lives of his students, many of whom have had successful performing and teaching careers. He treasured the friendships he retained over the years from the music faculty here at the conservatory and those neighbors and friends and family from his life here in Oberlin and around the world. Margaret Mead wrote the following, which I feel helps in these times. To the living, I am gone. To the sorrowful, I will never return. To the angry, I was cheated. But to be happy, I am at peace. And to the faithful, I have never left. I cannot speak, but I can listen. I cannot be seen, but I can be heard. So as you stand upon a shore, gazing at a beautiful sea, As you look upon a flower and admire its simplicity, remember me. Remember me in your heart, your thoughts, and your memories of the times we loved, the times we cried, the times we fought, the times we laughed. For if you always think of me, I have never gone.